My name's Sean Colgrave. I originally am from Tamworth, which is just a little bit outside Birmingham, but for the last 15 or so years, I live in Nottingham. So I've been around tattoos all my life. My dad has always been tattooed. For a long time, there was only one tattoo though. It was done by Mickey Sharps in Birmingham, which is quite a prolific name in the UK kind of tattoo scene. I got my first tattoo around 16, so longer than I should have been, so about 20 years ago. But that was not here. I actually went abroad and had that done in Bulgaria. I think because at the time my dad was like, I don't want anyone having tattoos, so I left the country to escape his wrath. And then I started my apprenticeship in 2019, so kind of about 5 years. Within the industry at the moment, there's a little bit of a struggle there's a lot of tattoos and there's obviously not a lot of people getting tattooed. And I think some of that's due to the economic climate. So I took a step back. I started an art master's, and I knew that I wanted to do something around tattooing. There's a local gallery near me, museum, Mansfield Museum, and they were really interested to put on a exhibition, which is in January next year. That's a 3-month exhibition. And I about 3 months ago, I was like, I'm going to put on another one. I'm going to put on a smaller one just so I can kind of get some practice in, I guess, before the big one. And then, yeah, found this amazing space, reached out to some of the artists that I kind of knew personally, put out a call for some other artists, and ended up going as far as Australia, having some artists from LA. And yeah, it's just kind of snowballed from there, really. There's a lot of female artists in here that I actually met in the Big North Tattoo Show up in Newcastle. I think that was around April. So what I found is, this is the style that I really enjoy, which is predominantly what's on display here, is kind of an American traditional, Western traditional tattoo style. Whenever you think of a tattoo, that tends to be the style that people think of, almost like the cartoony like drawings. And I always think of it as a bit of a man's game. Like whenever I think of a tattooist in that style, it's usually quite a big burly guy, a beard, maybe an ex-biker. And there were a lot of female artists at the event, so I interviewed quite a few just to kind of get their idea, because I felt like there's probably not a lot of female representation in that style. So then when I reached out to them, they were more than happy to kind of provide some pieces. So there were a couple of artists from Nottingham, and a couple of people that I've actually been tattooed by myself, and that was really good. And then some of the kind of further out there, so we've got a painter from Amsterdam. You know, I reached out to kind of people that I knew, and then they reached out to people that they knew, and then they reached out to people that they knew, and it's just been this big collaboration between all these fantastic artists. I've always gone kind of like the strap line is I want to create a world where you could go to Tate Modern, you could look at a Monet or a Klimt, and then right next to it is an Ed Hardy or a tattoo flash sheet that deserves its space in galleries as well. So, but then the other part of it, there's a lot of misconceptions around it, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted this really big open space. I think a lot of people, I guess from kind of working with these museums, and that there's a lot of people that really like tattoos, but maybe they're afraid to maybe get a bit more involved in the culture. You know, they've had either generationally or culturally, there's a bit of a stigma there. They don't want to walk into a shop in a back alley and flick through flash books to go, oh, that's a really nice dragon, or that's a really nice phrase. So I wanted to bring it in a really warm and open environment, so people who I've been calling them the tattoo curious, can come in and enjoy it, and they don't have to worry about if they're going to get judged for not having tattoos, and everyone can just experience what they like. So I want to take this touring, and I want to keep expanding. So I want to work with the Art Council to say, actually, this is really important, and I want to go up and down the country, predominantly in working class towns. I feel like I've been seeing tattooing as this working class art form, even though its proliferation in the UK actually is not from the working class almost. It got one that was so big because earls were going over to Japan and the Far East and getting these big exotic back pieces. But yeah, I want to go around and I want to work with children to kind of help them understand how the art style develops, and I guess just show that you can be creative. You don't have to go into the 9 to 5. That's I guess the next dream for me. Maybe 10 years out, I'd love to have my own gallery where I can just solely put it aside just for tattoo art, and I can work with people all over the world. We can have exhibitions where it's just one artist. We can do just an exhibition on a certain style. But yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. So I was actually in Sweden maybe 3 months ago when I decided I wanted to put something on here, and at the Excel Centre is one of the UK's biggest tattoo shows, has about 10 to 15,000 guests. So when I was like, I think I might just put on a little exhibition, I was like, but if I do it the same weekend in London, kind of close, and I'd spoken to a few owners of other galleries around here, and I spoke to Christopher, and immediately he was like, this is exactly kind of the stuff that we're looking for. We want to work with underrepresented art forms, and we want to show that they are art. And immediately I was like, this is here, we're speaking the same language. And then I came down and saw the space, and I was going to take all these photos for Instagram to show everyone that I was working with. And when I came down here, I was so just like starstruck by the area. I didn't even take any photos inside the building because I was like, oh wow, it's amazing. So everything has been perfect since day one. Christopher's been really great at helping. You've been fantastic at helping. It's been amazing. Yeah. When I came in, then one of the first things Christopher said was, all of these walls are modular. You can move them to exactly how you wanted them to be, and it's allowed me to create a flow through of the gallery. So I've been able to go to kind of organise how I want the guests to walk through and kind of take in the experience and the journey. And I didn't get that option with anyone else. It felt completely unique. It's just a gorgeous location. All of the windows, all of the light. There's literally a beach just here, just outside the window. I just couldn't ask for anything better.